Hello, calculus fans. Let's try to compute another derivative with implicit differentiation. Here we're going to define y implicitly by this equation. We want to compute y double prime this time. That'll be the different thing that we're doing. It's actually not even all that difficult to solve for y in this equation. We could go ahead and do that. But I just want to use this as a demonstration of implicit differentiation to get a second derivative. Well, usual sort of thing. We'll rewrite the radicals as powers. Right, so we're going to differentiate both sides with respect to x. So if we differentiate x to the 1/2, we'll get 1/2 x to the minus 1/2. Now, same thing with the y, except there's one little twist, which is we have to multiply by the y prime, because we're differentiating with respect to x. We're thinking of x as the independent variable. Okay, we're going to solve for y prime in this equation. We're going to multiply both sides by 2, get rid of those fractions. Keep in mind what we're trying to do. We're trying to solve for y prime. So we divide both sides by y to the negative 1/2 to get this expression. I don't know if anybody cares, but I don't like those negative powers. We can change that up. And so we can move things around to get it to look like this. That x to the minus 1/2 can get moved downstairs to be x to the 1/2. And then vice versa with the y to the minus 1/2. The minus sign got moved too, but it's because it doesn't really matter where the minus sign goes. You could put it in the top, you could put it in the bottom, you could put it down front, doesn't really matter. Okay, so we've solved for y prime. That's only half the battle. We want y double prime. Well, that's just the first derivative, so we need to keep going now and compute the second derivative. So we'll use the quotient rule on what we have calculated here. Low d high minus high d low, square the bottom, and away we go. So let's see, let's look at these pieces. There's low. There's d high. Notice the minus sign got kept around. Minus high. Okay, there's minus high, so that's why it turned into a plus. And then d low. Notice on the d high part, that's where we had to use implicit differentiation. That's where you see the y prime here. Square the bottom and away we go. Now, it looks like we're done, except for one little thing. We can't keep this y prime in here. So what we're going to do is take this, the y prime that we originally computed, and stick it in there. So when we stick that in, that y prime here, that was when we just stuck it in there, we get our final expression here. Now look, I suppose I could simplify this, but I'm tired now. We did all these calculations. I don't need to do any more. I'm just going to stop here. That's all for now.